And we are back at the bottom of the hour. This is Big Vern at App Stupid. We just covered Cam Newton and the idiots, the seven idiots that got involved in a brawl at a 7-on-7. Not only did they lose the fight, they also lost the game. However, in hindsight, they lost the respect of a lot of people who you take that organization at its word. They have all of these elite guys and none of them have any character. So do what you will with that. Moving on to the NCAA. They can't enforce any NIL rules after a federal judge ruled against them. Now, this is out of Yahoo Sports, and Jake Bear, he reports the NCAA has lost the authority to enforce any rules of the name, image, and likeness compensation for student athletes for now and potentially for good. The federal judge Clifton Carker granted a preliminary injunction against the NCAA NIL rules as part of the lawsuit brought by the attorney generals of Tennessee and Virginia. Remember, we covered that, and it's back in our logs on our channel. We talked about that. So these things don't happen in a vacuum, and they have wide-reaching repercussions. So against the organization, according to Adam Spark of the Knoxville Sentinel, the decision will apply nationwide. So I am happy. Now, right now, here's part, I shed no tears for the NCAA, and I give zero ducks. Okay? These scumbags at the NCAA, it has been taking and shaking down schools and athletes for years. So boo-hoo, you feel hopeless. Now you feel hopeless and helpless. And so now you know how the athletes feel. Ain't so much fun when the rabbit got the gun, is it? Again, Coker founded that the current NIL rules cause irreparable damages to the student athletes, and the NCAA's ban using NIL money as recruiting inducements likely violates federal antitrust laws. Without the give and take of free market, student athletes simply have no knowledge of their true NIL value. Corker wrote, "It's a suppression of negative leverage. Oh no, it's a suppression of negotiating leverage and consequential lack of knowledge that harms student athletes." Now, pay attention to that last phrase, student athletes, because that term is a generic term that they came up with to get around paying insurance on the kids who hurt themselves in these sports that bring in large sums of money to the school, namely basketball and football. I don't care what college you go to. I don't care what debate team at that college you belong to, what school of journalism, and nothing brings the money in faster than basketball and football. I don't care what swim team, what wrestling meet, the money that's generated from March Madness and all of these TV deals to these network deals, Big Ten, SEC, these story-rich programs, football and basketball drive the money. And they know this. But to get out of paying these guys for so many years and hide behind amateur athletics, even though they were paying these guys under the table, they were getting away with the whole student athlete facade. When these kids are spending more time in school, more time on sports than the coaching staff themselves. So amen to Judge Corker. And so this goes to the gullible crowd. Your favorite college school has paid athletes for years. This is just the curtain being lifted and a peek at the wild, wild west. And I've said that and I've stood on that for so many. I've said this on this program at times, like how much money is really floating around college athletics. When you had the situation in Illinois with Shannon Jr., he had four attorneys. As a college guy, what's the retainer on that? And he sued Illinois to get an injunction against them. Then you had the kid who was playing at Memphis, He was playing for Anthony Hardaway. He's 19 years old with a $1.2 million home in Cali. He's a 19-year-old with a mortgage, $1 million mortgage, and a sneaker deal with Puma. And he got in trouble for a weapons charge against some people who came to see him unannounced, and they wouldn't leave. And then he shot in the air, shot at the car, whatever, didn't hurt anybody, but he had to actually be a long distance student. And that didn't work for him. He felt like the school didn't have his back, even though Anthony Hardaway stayed in contact with the guy and he was in public. He was supporting the kid. He never said anything that would be contrary to that. And that guy left and went to Central Florida. Again, how much money is floating around college athletics? And the fact that these kids are now, everything's out in the open. Now the NCAA has this woe is me attitude. Oh, it was us. We were the harbingers of truth. We were keeping the vultures. No, you wasn't. No, you wasn't. You was hiding behind this whole facade, student athletes, and garnering large sums of cash. And now that you can't stop anything, now your feelings is hurt. Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. We'll be back when we take a quick 20-second commercial break from an unofficial sponsor of the show. This is Big Vern at Ab Stupid. Yes, Taco Bell, Live Moz, try the $5 craving box, the cheesy burritos, the gorditas. Taco Bell, Live Moz. Visit the good folks at your local Taco Bell. Download the app, order online. Taco Bell, Live Moz. So we were talking about the NCAA crying woe is me after so many years of taking advantage of the students. Jack Bear also continues to write in here that this decision for the NCAA, which has been trying to grasp at any authority on the landscape created in 2021 Supreme Court ruling, opened the door for the N.I.L. compensation. College athletes are now free to directly negotiate their compensation and sign N.I.L. contracts before enrolling at a school, and will be able to do so until at least the end of the court case. This injunction alone has been an omen for the NCAA chances and is a direct blowback from its investigation into Tennessee football program for alleged breach of NIL rules. Burn it down. Burn it all down. And you know, it's like the lie. They can't get an education. Well, now they can. They can pay for it out of their own pocket. They can pay by taking NIL money. These kids can pay for it out of their own pocket. They can pay for all 4 years. They can go out and get them a financial advisor. They can go out and get them a trusted family member or someone with business acumen that can make these sound decisions and start stockpiling cash. Because if I'm a player and I'm a pretty decent player, but I'm not good enough to make pro, why can't I cash in on college? Yeah, I'm going to be here for 4 years. And all 4 years, I'm going to cut deals that's going to benefit me. And I think that's a signal of the times and the way it should have been all along. Is put that in the hands of the player. I feel like it just strengthens college athletics. Most people would disagree. But if I've got enough guys on the team that are sucking in this NIL money and they've got large gems of cash, Now I can go ahead and give the scholarships to the less talented kids that I want to develop. I see it as a win-win. This is actually free market. If you're someone who supports the free market and you talk about people, hey, you got to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps, this is their bootstraps. This is them pulling it up. This is them taking charge of their own lives and saying, hey, no, look, I know my worth. This NIL rising spear at Florida State, the collective, they're going to pay me X amount of money. Now, I know if they're going to pay me X amount of money, this is my worth when I go to negotiate going to another college. What's the problem? It's no different from when people have their eyes set on a promotion or a job at another company, and they know how much the job pays, and they know how much they're getting paid at their current job. So I know if I go to interview for this job, I'm going to make X. It's the same thing. But we make it different when it comes to kids getting money and compensation. For kids putting their body on the line. And we shouldn't. So congratulations to every kid right now who's playing, no matter if you're playing from New York to California. Congratulations to you. Congratulations for the ruling. I'm not sad about the NCAA. Like I said, I can give two ducks how those guys feel. They have done this for years, and they've done it on the backs of kids, and they've raked in cash, and they've had this so perceived power. Now it's time for you to feel how the players felt. Again, this is Big Vernon App Stupid. Much more to go, much more here in the show. We'll be back at the top of the hour.